Not. Okay, good. Good morning, everybody. While we're waiting for the last people to get seated, we might as well cover some of the announcements and the housekeeping things. This is a very special event that we've been planning for a long time, and we've gotten amazing support from the AFL-CIO, from the Teamsters, from the nurses, not to mention our congressional delegation, particularly the members of the delegation who are going to be speaking to us today. We are a volunteer group. Many of you have been to this kind of an event before. This is our fourth one here at Macalester. There are 63 similar groups around the country in the central states pension area. So that's Midwest and also Southeast area. In subsequent meetings, we will be networking with them live, television feed, to whatever event that we have that we're doing. And I'll talk about this later, but I'm going to get your opinion about what we could be doing later. There are some handouts that I want to call to your attention. The first is we're going to be talking about a composite bill, which is a very complicated legal legislative shell game. We do have a handout from the Pension Rights Center you may have it with you, but be sure you pick one up. It's the clearest explanation of a confusing bill that we've come across. We also have a letter that Marcia Peterson drafted, and it's worth reading the letter, and on the back of it, there's a number to call to express your opinion that we shouldn't be passing pension legislation without hearings, and that if we're going to have hearings, the workers who are affected need to be at the table, because if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And we right now are on the menu, and that's why we're here, is to change that. Al Franken is going to be speaking to us later. He wrote a marvelous letter. We don't have enough copies for everyone to get one, but we will make the letter available, and it describes why we're here today, and it's very supportive of who we are. I see Vern Wheeler standing in the back. Vern, hold the clipboards up. We are looking for people to go visit our various congressmen, and we've got most of them covered, but we don't have the Republicans covered, and we don't have Colin Peterson covered just because he's a long way away from here. We're looking for people who live in those districts. Eric Paulson's district, Colin Peterson's district, Tim Emmer's district, and Jason Lewis's district. He's the congressman-elect. If you would like to be involved in going to visit him at these various congresspeople to talk about our issue, sign up with Vern. Vern and people from down around Owatonna went and visited Tim Waltz. Some of us have visited with Keith Ellison. It's fun. It's not a intimidating thing. It's a friendly discussion. We're not there to argue. We're there to have a conversation. At the end of this event, we're going to use the opportunity with all of us here to have a photo op outside out on in the quad. And when we're all done here, we're going to have you walk out, and you're going to get placards to hold, and we have a photographer engaged, and she may be up on a stepladder so we can get a good perspective. And there'll be a photo of this, and that'll be at the conclusion. There are some announcements that I would like to make. The first thing is there's no negative thinking allowed in the room. We have a big task ahead of us, but we are the people to accomplish it. What we have in common is we've all have our 30, 40 years career, and we know in our bones what's going on. And so there's not going to be any gloomy thinking, negative thinking allowed here today. We have a number of congresspeople coming, and we're going to get started with the first one. It'd be my be my pleasure to introduce Sherman Lematinen. Sherman, where are you? Oh, right here. And he will introduce our first speaker. And then the other thing is the bathrooms are in the basement. So thank you. Sherman? Sherman is the retired Chief Executive Officer of Local 346 in Duluth, and he will be speaking to us later about an umbrella group that we're all a part of. But right now, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Sherman Lematinen. Thank you.